A glimpse at some of the great items we have coming up on our sale on November the 18th. This is our second last sale before the holiday, so it's a great sale, don't miss it. We have, of our used furniture of note, we have this beautiful chinoiserie decorated secretary bookcase. Nice quality, made by a company called Jaslow. As usual in this sale, we have a great lot of mid-century modern. Of note, we have a set of 8 chairs by Mira Nakashima. These were commissioned in 2010 by the consigner. We have 8 of them, some of them with the nice dovetailing here. It is what they call butterfly dovetailing. Nice to have a set of 8. Sticking in the mid-century vein, we have this really nice mid-century Paul Evans cabinet. It's signed Paul Evans and dated 69. Opens up like this. It has slate top. Sitting on top of it, look at the size of these. We have a beautiful pair of rare canary yellow and gilt decorated opaline vases. As we're moving along, these I believe are by Koch and Lowy, a beautiful pair of aluminum as you would say over here, lamps. Moving along into the main room, Steve, Bruce and Nelia and Whitney are going to cover some of the items, so I'm not in too much of a rush this time. As we move into the main room, one of the things I like about in this sale is this medicine cabinet. It's Humphrey Specifics. This is tin with decal, but what's really nice is we still have all the original medicines. Look at that. For whatever ails you, especially after the storm, I'm sure we got something in there, or for Saturday night, whichever. In the mid-century, we have this nice pair of Powell Care Home mid-century chairs. You can stay there, Steve, and I'll sort of walk along, because there's so much. I'll try and point it out. We have chairs here in the style of Paul McCobb. We have a set of 8 of those. Sticking in the mid-century vein, what a wonderful pair of shagreen lamps, ball lamps, possibly by Carl Springer also. We have bronze Cartel clocks, 2 of them, very nice quality bronze clocks with some nice decorative upholstered furniture. Nice marble top mid-century cabinet. We have, with the Asian, we have some nice Asian hardwood and marble top stands. You'll notice as we're going along, we really have a great selection of carpets. I'm sure Bruce is going to cover them a bit more. Look at this nice upholstered, probably 19th century Venetian settee. Beautiful lines, nice green and gilt work on it. And behind you there, Steve, just in case you stand on him, you can get an idea of the size with me. Look at this beautiful fountain. I believe the exact same fountain is in Copenhagen. We have some great used furniture. Look at these leather upholstered chairs. We have a pair of what I would describe as possibly Empire style needlepoint fire screens. Nice to have a pair, it's unusual. We have some great quality custom made furniture. Look at this Regency style sofa table, drop leaf wood inlaid by Baker. Moving right along, we have an 18th century twin pedestal dining room table with nice ribbon back chairs. Beautiful leather top desk here. Different sort of form, nice size, nice shape. Beautiful patina too with the brown leather. Here we have an 18th century curly maple American desk. I believe it's signed. Nice size. I don't know where the market's going to take it now. This is a bit slower this time, the furniture is. We have a nice 18th century marble top and curved front commode there. A nice mahogany sideboard, noting we've got nice sconces. Look at this very, very large brass chandelier. Came from a wonderful Greenwich estate, which also had all this contemporary art and very large. We have a pair of leather wingback chairs. Here's a very interesting piece, nice looking. We have this surfboard table. This is nice metal base on it in nice condition. And here, one of the things I like in the sale, very striking, we have the 6-panel, which we believe is possibly Carl Springer screen. Look, it's even got silver and gold leaf as well as the lacquer work. We've got some iron fireplaces, good time of the year and good weather for it. Here we have an iron table, it's signed Gur. Very nice table, sort of Giacometti style, but I believe it's by an Israeli artist called Gur. Here we have a table and 8 chairs by Moser. We had some chairs by Moser in the last sale that did well, so we're hoping to use those well. On the custom-made furniture here, look at this beautiful, beautiful rosewood sideboard. Magnificent grain on a beautiful patina and colour. Another nice, I believe this is signed Baker, Georgian style chest of drawers. Little leather top desk. We have some Mills slot machines. And before I finish and hand you off to Bruce and Nelia and Whitney, I'm just going to concentrate on these two things here. We have this absolutely wonderful bronze sculpture. We haven't ID'd the artist. We believe it's signed on the bottom. It nearly has a sort of a Irish family style to it, but we believe it's continental, possibly Italian. The family feel that that their grandfather got it at the Biennale over there, but we're not sure yet. Hopefully we'll work it out by the sale time. And we have this absolutely great pair of ball chairs in original condition. Bit small for me, maybe for my baby, but with that I'm going to pass it over to Bruce, who will get into more detail. And thank you, and I'll see you on November the 18th at 2 p.m.
Thanks, Ron. We'll continue our video walkthrough with a small group of Tiffany items that come directly from a descendant who worked at the Tiffany factory. This desk set, this little Victory Favril glass plaque, but unmarked, but surely Tiffany, a very rare glass tassel. I suppose it's a bell pull, a butler pull, something like that. Marked Tiffany Favril, a set of 10 or 12 little pinched shot glasses. And here's some little rarities. Some of it's marked Tiffany, some of it's not, but we're sure that it's all Tiffany, including this little metallic finish perfume bottle, cologne bottle with little dimples on it. And here, Steve, a lot of 3 Favril glass items, all signed Tiffany LCT Favril, including this little blue porringer, which I understand is quite a rare color, all in good condition. And to continue on to this Tiffany from the same estate in the showcase, here are several pieces of Favril. This compote, large bowl, a cider pitcher, I guess, a set of 6 goblets, marked Tiffany Favril. And then here's a miscellaneous lot from the same estate, including a Quizal shade and a Quizal Jack in the Pulpit vase that's unfortunately as is. But here's a little unmarked, and we think it's probably early Tiffany, kind of opalescent glass cup and saucer. So I hope you're paying attention to that one. And to get off of the Tiffany, a magnificent gilt bronze desk set. He's Austrian, or maybe French, and it was cast in Austria. His name is C. Philip. So it's after this Greek bath. And then there's a whole desk set with the seal here, with a woman and an eagle. I'm sorry, a man with an eagle, or falcon, the letter opener. Just a magnificent quality set. Next up, we'll talk about some Chinese items, including these 8 panels that we thought were 2 table screens, but we tried to put them together and they don't really complete anything, so they may just be miscellaneous antique panels that were made into screens. They're marked the People's Republic of China, but these are actually antique panels that were made into screens sometime in the 20th century and exported. At least that's what I think they are. Nice and decorative there. And a whole case of Chinese items out of a local house near Terrytown. I forget the town. Including this ginger jar, no lid, but beautifully enamel decorated ginger jar. A partial signature on the bottom. Some other Chinese items of note is a pair of carnelian. I hope you can see how beautifully carved these are. They were pendants, and someone made them into lamp finials. One's got a lion or a foo dog on it. And here a pair of jade and hardstone table screens. Beautiful quality, turn of the century, late 19th, early 20th century. And a pair of signed poem vases, I guess, maybe brush pots, a pair. And here, 2 similar blue and white vases, 19th century surely. And this one is out of the same house, and I'm sure that it's antique, but this is a hard one to know, but I'm going to put it out here for you Chinese experts to take a look at. All this stuff was inherited by this woman's from this woman's grandmother. Staying on Chinese is this 19th century famille rose bowl and underplate with reticulated border. Perfect condition. Kind of hard to find these days. And out of a local Larchmont estate, a similar or near pair of very large blue and white ginger jars with lids. And they're signed. I think they might only be late 19th or turn of the century, maybe copies of earlier ones, but they're magnificent quality. And here, I'm not actually sure if they're Japanese or Chinese. They're one of the two. A pair of bottles that were turned into lamps. I vote for early Japanese, like Arita ware, but we'll see. And to get off Chinese for a moment is this magnificent 19th century French bronze urn with sort of bacchanalian scenes, a cherub sitting up on top. Beautiful quality. Unsigned. And here a bit of a rarity, a little Royal Worcester pierced cup and saucer in perfect condition. A lot of interest in this single cup and saucer. Still on Chinese is this pair of carved hardwood food dogs, glass eyes, bone teeth. I suppose they were off of something bigger originally. Maybe not. Anyway, they're fantastic quality and quite large. Beautiful decorations. And here an unrelated group of items, including a little 17th century, probably Italian, maybe Spanish, but I vote for Italian, little side table. Pretty original. Original top. Everything original but the one knob. And on top of it, an 18th century English fusee, I think fusee movement clock. It's had a quartz movement put in it, but we have the original movement and parts here. It's certainly a restoration project, but we've had a bit of interest in it, so I think it's probably a good project. And from an estate in Newburgh, a little tortoiseshell dome top casket. It needs some restoration, but I'm pretty sure that this is all silver. I don't find any marks, but I don't think it's silver plate, but silver. Anyway, another worthwhile project. And here a pair of German World War II military binoculars that are really beautifully crafted. A lot of interest in this sort of industrial military items these days. One of about 7 antique carpets that we got in from an estate in Newburgh. And several of them are Ushaks, I believe, including this one. This one I'm certain is a Turkish Ushak, in very good condition and terrific quality wool. Maybe Manchester wool. Needs a little repair here on the binded edge, but not too bad at all. Nice pile, a beautiful design. And here a Northwest Persian runner, a wide runner, in very good condition, could probably use a cleaning. It's got a beautiful green in it. I won't even guess to what exact area it comes from. I'll leave that. Maybe it's Shiraz. I'll leave that to our rug customers and connoisseurs. And here, Steve, another Persian carpet, room size. This one's pretty worn, but it's all here, and I'll bet it's late 19th, or turn of the century, with a big green-blue major border. Certainly Northwest Persian, and if shabby chic can be used, this is a beautiful, beautiful carpet. Probably not the most valuable carpet out of this estate, but the one that I like the best. Magnificently drawn, large size, just really a stunning carpet. Again, it's in shabby chic condition, but all here. These kind of carpets don't come our way so often. And here a Chinese deco, or I call them Nichols carpets, 30s or 40s, in really great condition, full pile, no worn spots. An interesting little comical face in this border over here. I'm sure it's something to do with Japanese culture, kabuki or theater, no theater, or something like that. I'm not quite sure what this one is, Steve. It's a scatter carpet. Maybe it's a savonnerie, a French savonnerie. Maybe it's a Spanish savonnerie, possibly Turkish. Not exactly sure, but it's a deco carpet and beautiful quality. Another room-size carpet from the same estate. I guess it's a Kerman, and it's going to be hard for you to see it with all this furniture on it. But again, it's in magnificent condition. Good pile, could use a cleaning. And oversized, quite large. At 9'9" by 20 foot 2 inches. Steve, the last carpet that we'll speak about today is this oversized Saruk, 18.5 by 9'10", in wonderful condition. You'd be hard-pressed to find one in better condition than this one. And to end with textiles and carpets from the same estate is our sort of pièce de résistance in the textile department, is this 17th century Dutch tapestry. We have significant information on this tapestry, and you can see our website. Steve, from the same Newburgh estate, is also bought at Christie's around 2002 or so, is this pretty large coal port service in what they called apple green. It's actually 2 services. These set of 4 trays with the coat of arms on them are spectacular. So it's a mixture of 2 sets here. And also from the same estate, if you can see that pair of French gilt bronze marble mounted cassolettes. They're in damaged condition, that's how we got them, and they'll need restoration. Nevertheless, they're quite nice French decorations. In our back room, Steve, is a mid-20th century directoire style dining room table, bronze or brass mounted, very Molitor in style, but mid-century Janssen style, they would say, with 2 big wide skirted leaves. And here a set of Warren MacArthur folding chairs, famous designer Warren MacArthur. And believe it or not, Steve, we had a pair in our last auction of these 19th century Elmwood pedestals, and then we got another pair. These are slightly different in the little carved pendant or crests on the bottom, and the color is different, but otherwise they're pretty much the same as we had in the last sale. A late 18th or early 19th century French little leather top desk with nice inlay, an American candle stand, inlaid top, probably cherry. An 18th century tilt top table that's had some restorations. We listed it as American or English, but it could be a pretty good Philadelphia model. Nice pair of antique gilded tole and iron candelabra. This 18th century, probably English serpentine sideboard from Newburgh. 2 antique 18th century French commodes. One of them is signed. I know Ron touched on this desk before, but he doesn't know that it's signed on the back by the maker named Weaver in Ham County, New York, which I don't even know where that is. It must be way upstate New York, but a beautiful curly maple American slant front desk. Some more antique English furniture, including this pair of hall chairs. And this is actually American, this little bow front 2-drawer server. I'm sure they're gonna know the maker by the inlay. And the last item for me, Steve, will be this American portrait that's in difficult condition out of a house up near Katona somewhere. And it is signed in lower right, but we couldn't make the signature out. But it's really a beautifully sensitive, it's really a beautifully painted, sensitive portrait of a little girl holding flowers. Nice piece of folk art. And I'm going to turn it over to Nelia Moore right now, who will talk to you about the art that we have in our upcoming sale. Thanks very much, and hope to see you at the auction.
Thank you, Bruce. I'm going to talk to you about some of the fine art we have coming up this Sunday, November 18th. However, first I want to just jump to this fresh to market Miro Aqua Tint and Carborundum etching that we just got. This is actually going to be in the December 9th sale, so this is just a quick preview. Gorgeous, nice size etching, limited edition of 75, came out of a home in Forest Hills, Queens, but we're excited about this one. Now I'll talk to you about the many paintings we have for November. Coming up in November are over 100 paintings, including a grouping of 50 from a storage warehouse. I'm not going to show you those, but I do want to give you a glimpse of the highlights for this sale. This here is a Gabor Peterdi oil on canvas called the Golden Marsh. Beautiful impressionist, almost pointillist style Hungarian painting, 1980s. Up above it is an Alvin Hollingsworth oil on board, actually a mixed media on board with oil and possibly paper collage. Alvin Hollingsworth, African-American artist, is becoming quite a regular at our auctions, as you may recall. Over here in the center, we have a very large portrait, society portrait by Frank Brooks, dated 1901. British artist, you can see she's in a delicate lace, beautifully rendered, possibly her wedding whites. And just next to it, bringing it back to the 20th, possibly 21st century, is a collage by Gerald Birchman. You can see the many different textures and mediums he's used here. We have two other works by Gerald Birchman in this sale. The other one is also mixed media collage, and the third is an acrylic on paper. This is a familiar image for us here at Clarke. Regular print in the sale, the Chagall Metropolitan Opera, Lincoln Center, 1966 poster. We've had several of these in the past. However, this is in the best condition we've seen. It is not mounted on cardboard. It's just tacked with two pieces of tape at the top. Very bold colors, not faded as the ones we've had in the past. This small little gouache here is by French artist Edmé Bouchardon. Late 17th century, early 18th century painting. He's actually a sculptor, but this is a nice little painting we have here. And below it, bringing it possibly also to the 17th century, is a Bolognese school old master painting, also a gouache mounted on board with an Old Christie's label on the back. Here we have the iconic image by James Montgomery Flagg, the I Want You for U.S. Army. This poster, along with the Chagall poster and several others in this sale, came out of a house in Weston, Connecticut. This one is very well preserved. It's been mounted on linen with all the restoration done. And just next to it are two oils by William Weintraub. We actually have 4 total in this sale by this artist. He's mid-20th century artist active in Israel. All beautifully painted. We come through to the main hall. These are 2 interesting sculptural reliefs by Joan Hall, also contemporary artists. These are out of the same Weston, Connecticut estate, as well as this mesh torso by Randy Cooper, which I just think is beautiful, the 3-dimensional aspects of it. You can see it in the round, it's terrific. This painting by Dora Politka, of a female fish seller, is an artist we've had before. We actually sold 2 works by him back in September. This painting is actually in better condition. I think it's just a gorgeous subject. The consignor's mother actually represented Politka back in the 60s and 70s, and he believes the 2 paintings we had in our September sale likely came to the United States by way of his mother. So we got this one as a result of that sale. Then this large painting up here is by Mexican artist Felipe Orlando. This is also out of the Weston estate. I'll show you some of the other more contemporary works as well. This is kind of mid-20th century. Just below it, we have the Cocktail Lounge by Harry Sternberg. Social realist American painter. We have a second work by him in this sale as well. Came out of Florida. This terrific size Morago is one of 3 in the sale. Big, large blocks of color. He is also a contemporary Italian painter. These were in a very contemporary home in Weston, Connecticut, and they would look terrific in a Manhattan apartment, anywhere that you have large walls. As I said, there are 2 more by Morago in this sale. This Old Master oil on canvas is after the original by Bartolomeo Schedoni, Schedoni actually died in the early 17th century, so we believe this may in fact be a 17th century copy. It has been lined. There are some condition issues, but there are reasons for us to believe that it is that old, and the condition is age appropriate. This is one of about 4 or 5 old masters we have in this sale. I mentioned the Bolognese School gouache earlier, and there are a couple more, but you have to come in to see those. Up here in the corner is a mixed media on canvas by Stanley Boxer. I just think the textures in this are terrific. You have some sort of glistening stones to the left leading into a sand and oil, it looks like, base. We also have 2 lots of drawings by Stanley Boxer later in the sale. This is the other one by Harry Sternberg, the Adam and Eve. Just because we talked about the old master before, I'll quickly show you these 2 if you just want to have a quick peek. These are 2 of the others. And just below it is a copy of a Vincent van Gogh. Now, you may be wondering, why am I showing you a copy? It's because it's by Elmer de Hory, who is actually a famous forger and has become quite famous in his own right because of his forgeries. We also have a Monet by him as well. Down here we have a Philip Evergood, 1954. This is a cowboy and Mustang. And lastly, we have 2 oils of Bathers by Harry Carmian. I just think the muted tones by this California artist in both of these works are terrific. The composition is great, and I think although they're mid-20th century, he's really captured that impressionist and 19th century feel. So that wraps up the fine art in this sale, but I'll send you over to Whitney. She'll show you some of the silver lots we have coming up. We hope to see you Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you, Nelia. First, we're going to have a look at one of my favorite pieces in this sale, and it's a Girard silver casket box. It has a gilding on the interior, and if you can see right here that it is hallmarked. There is also a great little figural finial on top. Here we have an 18th century English Taza. If I tilt this a bit, you may be able to see the shield that's engraved in the front. On the bottom shelf, we have an Alvin tea set. The 5 pieces here are sterling, however, this is a silver plate tray, and the pattern is Chaste Romantique. If you wanted to follow me over here, we have an array of sterling items. These are 2 beautifully engraved card cases, both sterling. Here we have a lot of 4 pieces of hollowware. This is a Cartier plate, 2 pieces of Tiffany, and a Danish hand-hammered pitcher. Next we have a 12-piece flatware set, and the pattern here is Eloquence. And to finish off our silver for the sale, this is a Christoffel centerpiece with cherubs. It's quite beautiful. It is not missing the glass insert, but it's a beautiful piece. And that about wraps it up for our preview. We hope to see you on Sunday, November 18th at 2 p.m. Thank you.